Welcome. In this video, I want to share a little bit from my own perspective about if you're a spiritual person, maybe you have been working like I am, maybe you have more time, maybe you would like to do it, and you don't know exactly how to deal with social media, scams and frauds, and the control of the information, the hate. I wanted to share what I have learned since I started Encoded frequency, and hopefully take your notes and at the same time get whatever that will serve you the most and disregard the rest. I want to clarify that I tried to record normally with a full screen, but for some reason the video would not rotate, so I decided to go with the flow. When I started in Facebook, I started because light language came to me after my third eye was opened, and I had no idea about what it was. I thought I wasn't seen. I thought I was so messed up, because indeed I was. People said to me that I needed to go holy and that I wasn't seen, that I needed to go back to church, because I don't think I believed in God when I started seeing angels. I have shared this in videos before. But after I began seeing angels, then I started seeing faces and symbols and light and auras. Not all the time, but sometimes. And I was freaking out. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to understand it. So I asked persons next to me. No one had any idea about what to do. And this is when social media came to the scene. I am normally a very private person. I like to keep my things like in a selective space. I'm not the type of person that I'm very open. I never have been. I am extrovert, but believe it or not, I am actually very introvert. I'm maybe like half and half. So I didn't want to have Facebook. I didn't want to have MySpace. I don't know if you remember MySpace. Well, I said, I don't like those social media things. So from my time, maybe you're younger than me, maybe social media was not the way to connect with persons. You would use a phone, you would use letters, right? So I realized that online there were more persons like me having weird situations. Someone said to me that I had stigma, that it was a stigma because I was covered on glitter, right? So this was a type of stigma. You know that there are some persons that have like the holes of Jesus with pouring blood, stuff like that. That is one of the stigmata or stigma. I'm not sure exactly in English how it is, that some people may have. Well, in my case, I'll just glow, right? Kind of get natural makeup, which was amazing, especially when I used to cry a lot. I had a lot of problems. I was sick. My life was a disaster. So I didn't know what to do. Apparently, there was no solution in life. So I would cry. And when the tears will just like dry, it will look like glitter on me, like very tiny. And when I still do healing with angels, I still have the glitter in my hands and in my arms, and sometimes in my neck or my face. You can see that through. It's like very tiny. You can like barely see it through video. And I began searching online. Someone said to me that it was a type of physical stigma that Mother Mary had in Mexico, and people pray, because in Mexico, when I grew up, the majority of the time, people are very Catholic and they believe a lot in Mother Virgin Mary. But at that time, I wasn't believing in God. I told God, just forget about me. So Facebook was a place where I could draw what I was seeing and then say, I did this. I dreamt with this woman. I think it's me, from a place that it was in a war and I was in jail and it was horrible and I had like a sheep in my head and I have no idea what that is. And then someone would say to me, well, I think that's Orion. And I was like, Orion, what is that? Well, that's a constellation that is a star race. You can look for it. And I was like, oh, and then like on Google. So Facebook was the bridge for me to connect with persons that I could relate, that they would understand me, and that I would feel a type of belonging, because I realized I was not the only one. There were many others having the same symptoms, we can say, and now there are more. I have done sessions on persons that they just woke up, have no idea about spirituality like I was, and they are doing light language, or they had its own light language awakening, which I found amazing. So, just to summarize, it was just what I needed, a platform to connect, to grow, and to learn about what was happening to me, and then meet other mindful people that could teach me and I could learn. And then I joined a membership for meditations, and that was very helpful, and I began having friends who will practice their own psychic things, and it was fun and it was great.